So today, I think it was your WTM exam, no? What was this WTM 7, right? How was the paper? Was it good? Okay, so we are going to have this discussion right now, okay, in which, so has everyone joined? Yes, no? I think if there are 50 students, I will start. Yeah, 49 students are there, so we can start. Okay. Anyways, last time also, people are just sleeping after the tests. Okay. So let us start the paper discussion. Okay. See, I will be recording this, paper discussion so that in case someone missed this paper discussion, they can go through the whole discussion again. Or if you want to read, look at a particular point in this whole paper discussion, you can do it again. Okay, this is for you people only. Okay, and I will be giving you the links. Okay, I think it will be recorded in this also. 1 minute. Let me just do the recording here. Start. Okay, now it is good. 55 people are there. That is good. Yeah. So let us start the paper discussion now. Okay. 51 to 53. Any doubts? 51 to 53. Yes, no? No. Okay. 54, 55. Definitely doubts. Huh? 55. Okay. Yeah. So 55, you see, when you are giving heat to the thing, okay, to water, and there will be two things which can happen. One is that the temperature of water will increase. Second, some of the heat might be causing dissociation of water. Okay, H2O giving H plus OH minus. Now, normally this dissociation is very less. It is in the range of 10 power minus 7. Okay, so you see, we don't know how much heat will be actually increasing the temperature of the whole water and how much will be used in the dissociation of water molecules into H plus and OH minus. Okay, so there is no way of calculating how many number of H plus or OH minus ions are there till we can exactly know how much of heat is going into dissociation of water. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. Now you can approach this question assuming that okay, all of the heat is used in dissociating water molecules. Then technically you can find the number of water H plus and OH minus which are generated due to giving up of this heat. Okay. In this case, we have to also assume that temperature is remaining constant. So if the temperature is remaining constant, all of the heat is used to dissociate H2O into H plus and OH minus. Okay. So suppose I am starting with 2 moles of H plus. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, so you see, if I am assuming that the temperature remains constant and all of the heat which you are supplying is used in dissociation of water, then we can technically calculate the number of H plus and OH minus. So you see, you have 2 moles 0 and 0, and you see, we know that H plus plus OH minus, if this reaction is taking place, then 57.3 kilojoules of energy is released. So the reverse reaction, you have to give that much energy to break water into H plus and OH minus. Are you getting my point? So you see, we have given like 80 kilojoules of energy. So how many moles of water will be dissociated? 80 by 57.3. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Acha, you see, We are assuming that whatever energy we are giving is used in dissociating water molecules into H2O, into H plus and OH minus ions. Are you getting this? Now we know that H plus plus OH minus, strong acid, strong base neutralization gives 57.3 kilojoules of energy for 1 mole of H plus and 1 mole of OH minus combination. So if I think of a reverse reaction where H2 is giving these ions, I have to give 57.3 kilojoule per mole of energy. Okay, so I can calculate technically the number of moles which would be dissociated if I am taking these assumptions. Getting my point? Okay, so you will be getting 1.4 moles. Okay. So you see, initially you started with 2 moles, 0, 0. Is 2 minus 1.4, 1.4 and 1.4. So you'll be getting 0.6 moles of water left. And you'll be getting 1.4 moles of H plus and 1.4 moles of OH minus. Here we have taken one more assumption, that we are assuming that dissociation of water at room temperature is negligible, which is to some extent true, because at room temperature, water dissociation is like 10 power minus 7 moles of H plus and 10 power minus 7 moles of OH minus. Compared to this, these are very big quantities, 10 power 23, so we can neglect them. Getting my point? Yes, no, something. Okay, so I guess you people got clarity in this question. So the only thing which will be correct is the ratio of H plus to OH minus will be 1 only. All other things cannot be said because not enough data is given. Okay. See, you got 1.4 moles of H plus and 1.4 moles of OH minus. Yes. So you should write it as OR, okay, if you are getting good. Okay. Then 1.4 moles would be how many units? 1.4 into 6 into 10 power 23. It is 8.4 into 10 power 23. Are you getting this point? Yes or no? Okay. Then can I move forward now? Okay. 56, 57. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I got the feedback that these two questions are something in which, teachers were given that these are tough questions. So I thought that let us first look into these questions only. Okay. So let us see CH4 plus 2O2 giving CO2 and 2H2. This is my equation. Now it is given that 20 grams of CH4 is burnt with 150 grams of O2 and it produces some amount of heat. And this reaction is given. Now it is saying that after reaction, excess of chlorine on reacting with the mixture gives CCl4. This means that in the first step, the combustion of CH4 is not complete. Are you getting my point? Then only CH4 can react with 2Cl2 and give CCl4 and HCl. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. So first I did is I calculate the moles. Okay. Always convert weight into moles whenever you are dealing with chemistry. Chemistry means moles. Are you getting my point? Okay. So 20 by 16 will be the moles of CH4, which will be 5 by 4 moles. And 150 by 32 will be moles of O2, which is 75 by 16 moles. Now in this case, CH4 is not getting consumed completely. So obviously, some amount of O2 will also be left. Are you getting my point? Right now, if you can see from the molar ratio, CH4 here is the limiting reagent. Okay, but since CH4 is not getting consumed completely, obviously O2 will also be remaining. Now, how much of CH4 is consumed? I don't know. So I said that X moles are getting consumed. So what will be remaining? 5 by 4 minus X. Okay. And how many of this will be remaining? 75 by 16 minus 2X. Okay. Now this CH4 is now reacting here. Getting my point? So now I'm writing CH4 plus 2Cl2 giving CCl4 plus 4HCl. Here chlorine is in excess. This means we are not to worry about chlorine. All of CH4 is converted into CCl4. Okay. And we are saying that we got 77 grams of CCl4. Okay. Now, what is the molar mass of CCl4? Can you tell me? Assuming 35.5 for chlorine. It will be 154. That is very good. Okay. So can I calculate the moles of CCl4? So it will be 77 by 154. It will be 0.5 moles. Okay? Getting my point? Okay. Now, you see, the value of 5 by 4 minus X is equal to... Huh? Can you repeat your...
Why you did 5 by 4 minus 9.
See, you started with these many moles and X moles got consumed. So how much will be remaining? 5 by 4 minus X. How much of O2 will be remaining? 75 by, it should be 75 by 16 minus 2X. Are you getting my point? Okay. So you see, if I'm doing this, X will be 3 by 4 moles. Up to this point, anyone having any doubt? No. So you see, 3 by 4 moles of CH4 gave 675 kilojoules of energy. Okay. So how much energy will be given with 1 mole of CH4? 4 by 3 into 675, it will be 900 kilojoules. And since this is the energy released, it will be the heat of combustion of CH4 per mole. Are you getting my point? And since it is the energy released, so delta H, if we are writing, you have to write it as minus 900. Okay? Getting my point? Now, what will the moles of O2 used? It will be 2x. So it will be 2 into 3 by 4, it is 1.5 moles. So weight of O2 used will be 48 grams. If they ask weight of O2 unused, it will be 150 minus 48, it will be 102 grams. Are you getting my point? So you can judge all the 4 options. Okay. So everyone is clear? See, this question was not a very tough question. Okay, the only thing, only point of understanding is the CH4 won't be getting completely consumed in the first reaction. This, if they could have mentioned, it would have been better. Are you getting my point? But you can infer it also, because the second reaction, CCl4 is getting formed. CO2 will not react with chlorine to give CCl4. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after 57, 58 is a doubt?
56.
56. 1 minute, first 56. What is the doubt in 56? What is the formation reaction for the CO2? First, let me discuss this. What is the formation reaction for CO2? It's combination of element in its native state to give 1 mole of the compound. What is the elements which are giving CO2? Carbon and oxygen, right? Yes or no? Okay. So see graphite. Graphite is a native state of carbon, and oxygen exists in the form of O2 molecules. So C plus O2 giving CO2 is the correct answer. This will give the heat of formation. The answer is 4. Are you getting my point? In this case, you see 394 kilojoules won't be, only for this 394 kilojoules will be, delta H will be 394. Are you getting my point? For this, it won't be 394. Why? Because I am telling you. See, if I am writing Hess law, now you see graphite. I have to first break into 2O. To give this. 1 minute. I have to write it in a nice way. Okay, so now you see this and this is giving this. So if I'm saying that this is delta H1, and this is delta H2, then delta H1 plus delta H2 is equal to 390 minus 394 here. Okay, and this delta H1 will be some X, which is basically heat of atomization of O2. Are you getting my point? So in this case, minus 394 will be delta H2 plus heat of atomization of, so it won't be exactly minus 394. Okay, delta H2 won't be, because there will be some heat of atomization for oxygen. Okay. 56 is done. 58. What is the doubt in 58? Okay, now in 58 it is a definition based question. Okay, let me just write something. Now you see, I have given that if you have a compound H2SO4, okay, and it dissolves in aqueous solution to give 2H plus SO4 2 minus. Okay, then the delta H for this reaction will be enthalpy of the solution. Are you getting my point? Enthalpy of solution. Sometimes we have also discussed it to be the ionization, what it says, enthalpy of ionization also, if you are assuming it to be a covalent compound. Are you getting my point? Now, aqueous means infinite number of water molecules. Okay, means water molecules are in excess. But you see, if I'm writing that H2SO4 is only reacting with 5 moles of H2, I was giving H2SO4 dot 5 H2. It is something like hydration enthalpy only. Okay. So if this is finite, okay, then this will also be finite only. In this case, we say it is an integral enthalpy of solution, because you see, you also have solution molecules around itself. Are you getting my point? Yes, no? Okay. So similarly, if you are writing that H2SO4, 1 minute, is with 2000, it is giving H2SO4 dot 2000 H2. Then this is also integral enthalpy of solution, but at different concentration. Are you getting my point? Now, if I write H2SO4 dot 5H2O plus 1995 H2O, giving H2SO4 dot 2000 H2O. The enthalpy for this reaction will be equal to enthalpy of dilution of H2SO4. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay, see the difference between hydration enthalpy here. Okay, and this is that this is an in aqueous solution only. Okay, in case of hydration enthalpy, it is in solid state only. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So this means that the H2SO4 has gotten only partially solvated. Are you getting my point? When it got fully solvated, then it will be dissociating into H plus and SO4 2 minus ions. Getting my point? Okay. So it is giving that, so let us see, first is correct, okay, because it is definition based. If you are, like adding finite number of water molecules, okay, then you will get integral enthalpy of solution. Second is difference between integral enthalpy of solution, okay, and here we are using liquid, we are not using solid, okay. In all cases, we are using liquids only, okay. So the moment you are adding, adding liquid, there will be slight release of energy or, absorption of energy, depending on the interaction between water and the given compound. Okay, so that heat will be your enthalpy of solution only. Okay, now when you are increasing the amount of water, more and more amount of energy will be released. Okay, so difference between two integral enthalpies will give you the enthalpy of dilution. That is correct, right? If I, like this 1 and 2, and I write 2 minus 1, I will get enthalpy of dilution. Are you getting my point? Okay. Number 3, the slope of plot of integral enthalpy of solution by number of moles will give integral enthalpy of solution. That is wrong. It will give you differential enthalpy of solution. Okay, because slope is d by dn in this case. Are you getting my point? Okay, let us see. Suppose I am drawing the plot of delta H versus number of H2O molecules. Okay, and suppose you are getting some curve. Okay, so suppose you are getting something like this. Okay, then the slope of this curve mathematically will be represented by what? Del by del n of delta H. Getting my point? So this will be what? This is a derivative, so it will be differential enthalpy of solution. Okay? Yes, no, something. Infinite dilution means that there are like excess of water molecules compared to H2SO4 molecules. That infinite dilution, it will dissociate into ions. Okay. Suppose you have like 100 moles of H2SO4 and you add only 1 mole of water. It is not like all the H2SO4 will dissociate to give H plus and SO4 2 minus. Are you getting my point? That dissociation will take place only when there is excess of water compared to H2SO4. Okay? So that each H plus and SO4 2 minus ion is individually surrounded by excess of water molecules. That situation we call it as infinite dilution. Getting my point? Okay? So that will be the only thing wrong about it is it should be differential, not integral. Okay? So let us move forward. 59, 60. Any doubts? 61 also. See, thermochemistry is a pretty easy topic. So you know, I'm expecting that you people would have done very good in this paper. You are already the best students, you know, we are having. So tell me, 59, 60, 61. No doubt. Okay.
Sir,
62. Yeah, 62. And 62, okay, means like, yeah, can you people, yeah, please just, okay. In 62, they have given this reaction. Zinc,
61, sir.
let me first discuss 62 now, then I will discuss 61. Okay, 2 zinc sulfide plus O2 gives 2 zinc oxide solid. Okay, so what will delta H for this reaction? Maybe heat of formation of products minus heat of formation of, yeah, there's a lot of background noise. If you can just keep yourself muted, unless until you don't have a doubt, you know, heat of formation of O2. Okay, now this will be 0 because heat of formation of elements in their native state is 0 only. Okay, so basically it is 2 delta H naught formation of zinc oxide minus 2 delta H naught formation of zinc. And I think delta H naught formation of zinc will also be equal to 0. Okay, but see, elements in their native state, if you are talking about, okay, then technically it should be equal to, is it 2 moles of zinc oxide plus 1 moles of, the enthalpy of 2 moles of zinc oxide is less than the total enthalpy of 2 moles of zinc and 1 mole of, okay, video was stuck, 1 minute, just 1 minute. Is it good now? Is it good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, they are not talking in terms of enthalpy of formation actually. They are talking in terms of absolute enthalpy. This is the expression for enthalpy of formation. Actually, this will also be equal to 0. So, it will be something like this only. Okay. Now, you see, when I am talking about enthalpies, okay, then this is enthalpy of reaction will be enthalpy of reactant minus enthalpy of product. When I'm talking enthalpy, I am referring to an absolute enthalpy thing. Now we can't measure that absolute enthalpy, but we can say that if there was some absolute enthalpy value associated with reactant and product, then delta H for reaction will be 2 into enthalpy of zinc oxide minus 2 into enthalpy of zinc minus plus 1 into enthalpy of oxygen. Okay, it is not an enthalpy of formation, it is total enthalpy. Okay. Now, you see, this value is what? This value is 693.8 or minus 693.8. Minus 693.8. Okay. So, I can say that 2 into enthalpy of zinc oxide is equal to 2 enthalpy of zinc plus enthalpy of oxygen minus 623.8. So this is what is referred to by the first statement, that the enthalpy of 2 moles of zinc oxide is less than the enthalpy of this whole thing by 693.8 kilojoules. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. So why can't we say third option as correct? Exothermic reaction.
Yeah.
Energy is a word where
See, yeah, they have asked per mole. Okay, this is for this is for 2 moles of zinc oxide. Okay, so for 1 mole of zinc oxide, it will be 693.8 by 2. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. So 62 is done. 61 was a doubt, right? Yeah, but 61 was something I discussed yesterday only. Someone posted this question actually, exactly the same. You want me to solve this question? Yes, no? Okay. You see, the reaction is something which is application of Hess law. So I will be writing the reaction like this. You see, you are having, okay, you can do it without the Hess law also. See, basically we want to make this reaction. So I can write C plus half O2, giving CO. For this, delta H1 is equal to Y. And CO plus half O2 gives CO2. Delta H2 is equal to what? Z. If I add these two reactions, what will happen is that what will get cancelled out? CO will get cancelled out. Okay? So I can add C plus O2 giving CO2. For this, delta H will be equal to X. Right? So I can write, if I add these two reactions, I am getting this, no? So delta H is equal to delta H1 plus delta H2. This implies X is equal to Y plus Z. Getting my point? Okay. After this,
sir.
Yes.
Can you say why third option is wrong in 62? I got disconnected because of technical issue.
See, this 693.8 is for 2 moles of zinc. Okay. So for 1 mole of zinc, it will be how much? 693.8 by 2.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, then you written something like heat energy as a rate of
That delta H is equal to that only, no? Here means if I am saying energy, I am meaning enthalpy change actually. Are you getting my point? If nothing is mentioned, it is heat energy is at constant pressure only, open vessel reaction. Are you getting my point? Yeah. After this, 63 to, huh?
So 64.
Yeah, 64. A bomb calorimeter question. 63 also. Okay. Now in 63, this question someone asked yesterday only, I guess. Did they discuss? No, someone asked this question also. Do you want me to solve this question right now? Okay. Okay. Now you see what is given here is that enthalpy of hydrogenation. Actually, it was a part of the bigger question which we did in the class. Okay. So it is given that the enthalpy of hydrogenation of benzene is given to be minus 205. And resonance energy is also given. Okay. You see, let us say that this reacting with hydrogen gives C6 ester. And for this, the delta H is heat of hydrogenation of this compound, which is cyclohexane. Let us say that this is X. Okay. Now, technically, if I'm having one pi bond, the energy released is X in hydrogenation. So technically, if I'm having like a molecule which is having 3 pi bonds, okay, Lewis structure, and I'm adding 3 moles, what will be the heat change here? 3x. And this will be heat of hydrogenation, theoretical. Why? Because this is the theoretical structure of benzene. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay, now the actual structure of benzene is something like this. It is like a delocalized pipe. So obviously some resonance energy stuff is there, but when you do this reaction, okay, then you will get delta H to be minus 205. Okay, you are getting delta H to be minus 205. Okay, and this is the what? Actual heat of hydrogenation of benzene. So you can write it as heat of hydrogenation actual. Are you getting my point? Now you see, because this is the actual structure of benzene. Now I have given you in the class notes also what is delta H resonance in terms of heat of hydrogenation or heat of combustion. Can you tell me? No, it's not reactant. Actual minus theoretical or theoretical minus actual? In case of formation, it is actual minus theoretical. In case of hydrogenation and combustion, it is theoretical minus actual. Yeah. So that is equal to how much? Can you tell me? Now, heat of hydrogenation theoretical is 3x. Minus heat of hydrogenation actual is how much? Minus 205. And this value is how much? Resonance energy, which is minus 152. See, even if some places you see resonance energy as 152, automatically put a negative sign there, because then they would be talking about magnitude. Resonance energy is always the energy released. Are you getting my point? Because system is getting stable. Okay. So if that is the case, I can say that 3x is equal to how much? It will be minus 357. This means x is equal to how much? Minus 119 kilojoule per mole. Everyone is getting this? Okay. So this is it. I hope that you people are clear about the resonance energy and all those things, heat of hydrogenation stuff. We did exact question. In fact, we did a bigger version of this question. Okay. Yeah. So now we can move further. 64 is it out? Okay. Let us see. Yeah, can you just mute yourself? It will be easier. Okay. 64. In a bomb calorimeter, you took like 1085 grams of H2O and it was taken to, and 1 gram of benzoic acid was combusted. The heat of combustion is given to be 26.42 kilojoule per gram. What is the heat capacity of the bomb? Okay. Now what will be the heat released? See, you use 1 gram of benzoic acid. This on combustion will give how much energy? It is given, heat of combustion is 26.42 kilojoules. Okay. And so this is your Q. Now we know Q is equal to, and you see the temperature of the whole thing increased by 4.96. So delta T is equal to how much? 4.96. So if I'm saying the heat capacity of bomb, let us say it is C. Okay. Then they should have mentioned the heat capacity of water also, no? So let us say that heat capacity of water is given to be 4.2. Okay, joule per gram per Kelvin. So it is C plus 1085 into 4.2. Otherwise, mass of water won't hold any meaning. Into delta T. This will be equal to 26.42. So I can write 26.42 into 10 to the power 3 joules is equal to by delta T is how much? 4.96. That is equal to C plus 1085 into 4.2. C is the heat capacity of calorimeter. Okay. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I do the calculation divided by 4.96, it will be like 13.48. So it will be like 13, sorry, it is not 13.48, 4.96, no? 4.96. It will be 5.326. So it will be something like 5326.6. You have to see plus this value. This is 4.2 into 1085. 1 minute. So it is like 4557. C is equal to 5326.6. It will be minus, sorry, it will be 769.6. Joules per Kelvin. So the closest value is option 2. You can write it as 7.7 into 10 to the power 2 joule per Kelvin. The closest option is option 2. Okay. Getting my point? So I have taken 4.2. I think if you do the calculation for 4.186, you'll get a value closer to the given value. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, but I have given this formula in the class, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Then it is good. So after 64, 66. 1 minute. 66. Okay. First 66. Okay. Let me. 66. Question is carbon plus O2 giving CO2. delta H is minus 90 kilocalories per mole. And C plus half O2 giving CO, delta H is minus 30 kilocalorie per mole. Okay, so two different reactions are given. In certain experiment, utilizing limited quantity of oxygen, delta H is observed to be minus 60 calories per mole of carbon oxidized to CO2. Ratio of moles of CO2 and CO. Okay, let us see this question. Okay. See, all these questions are easy, but you require a bit of patience. Okay. So let us say that we started with 1 mole of carbon. Okay. Then what is the total energy released? Total delta H is minus 60 kilocalorie. Okay. And you see, let us say that in the first reaction, it is C plus O2 giving CO2. I had used X moles of carbon. And the second reaction, which is C plus half O2, gives CO. So this is CO2. The moles of carbon involved is 1 minus X. Then you see X moles of C will give how much? X moles of CO2. Okay. Are you getting my point? And it will be consuming X moles here, and here 1 minus X by 2 moles of O2 is consumed here. Getting my point? Now, you see, and you'll be getting 1 minus X moles of CO. Okay. After the reaction. Now, you see, in the first case, delta H1 is how much? Minus 90. Second case, delta H2 is how much? Minus 30. Now you see, that is kilocalorie per mole. That is also minus 30 kilocalorie per mole. Now you see, here important thing is that it is for 1 mole of carbon. I am having X. I can write delta H total is equal to X into minus 90 plus 1 minus X into minus 30. And that is equal to minus 60. Okay. So I can at least cancel out minus. It is very irritating for me. Okay. So I can add 90x plus 30 minus 30x is equal to 60. So basically it is how much? 60x is equal to 30. So x is equal to 0.5. Yeah. So I think now you can get the thing. What is the moles of X used here? It is 0.5. So basically moles of CO2 by moles of O2 consumed. Now moles of CO2 is X. What is the moles of O2 consumed? X plus 1 minus X by 2. So it will be X by 2x. So if X is something like this, I can directly write now. It will be X is what? 0.5. So 0.5 plus 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5 by 2. So it is basically 1 by 3 by 2, just 2 by 3. Are you getting my point? Yes. So 66 is done. 67 and 68. Okay, it is everyone is getting the answer as one. You are asking why option 2 is not correct. Is that what?
Yes, sir, approximately option. Yes, sir.
That too I think is correct. I think people don't want solution. You just want clarity whether option 2 is correct or not, right? So I think option 2 is correct, no? Let me just do the multiplication once to check myself also. .186. Yeah, it should be correct. Even 2 will be correct. It should be going for the key change here. Means both 1 and 2 should be considered. Is it okay?
Sir, both are either option.
Means if you have marked 1, then also it will be correct. If you have marked 2 also, it will be correct. That we are meaning here. Getting my point?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So 68, you don't want a solution. No, I don't think there is anything in this question which you should be having any problem. Okay. 69, 70. No. 69 is a doubt. Okay. Let me do this question. Okay. So you have a resonance energy of N2 you have to calculate from the given data. Okay. So it is given the heat of formation of N2 is 82. That is the actual heat of formation of N2. Okay. So can I write the formation reaction for N2? It will be N2 plus half O2 giving N2. Is this the formation reaction of N2? Yes, no? Yeah. Now, if you are writing it in terms of Hess law, what I can visualize that it is giving 2N, this is giving O, and then these are combining to give N2O. Okay? So I have delta H1, I am having delta H2, I am having delta H3. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what is delta H1? You are converting N2 to nitrogen. So you are basically breaking the bonds. It will be equal to bond energy of N triple bond N. You people have to say yes from time to time. Otherwise, how will I know whether you are getting it or not? Similarly, this will be half into bond energy of O double bond O because you are breaking the bond. And delta H3, you are having N and O combining to give N2O. What is the structure of N2O? N double bond O. This is plus and this is minus. Okay. So it is having basically N double bond N and N double bond O. You know. So delta H3 will be what? It is bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products. What is bond energy of reactants? Is 0. Bond energy of products, bond energy of N double bond N plus bond energy of N double bond O. Okay. So what will be this value? Can you tell me? Okay, 1 minute. It will be minus of bond energy of N double bond N is given to be how much? It is like 498. Is it 498? They have given 4 values. So second value is N. Second value is N double. This is like this. Okay. Bond energy of N double bond N is the second one. Second one is 418. Plus N double bond O is the last one, right? 607. It is minus 1025. Okay. Units, you assume that it is, so what is this value? N triple bond N 946 with a positive sign. This is equal to half into bond energy of O double bond O. It is 249. Okay. This is 498, that's right. Now, what is delta H? Now, you see, if I am using the Lewis structure, no, what I would be getting is a theoretical heat of formation of N2O. So, what will be theoretical heat of formation of N2O? It will be delta H1 plus delta H2, because it is based on Lewis structure calculations. Delta H1 is how much? It is 946. What is delta H2? 249 minus delta H plus delta H is minus 10 and 25. Okay. Now we are doing the calculation. 946 plus 249 minus 1025. So it is 170. Okay. Units you take care of. Now, you see, this is the theoretical heat of formation, and actual heat of formation of N2O is how much? It is 82. So, what will be delta H resonance? It is heat of formation actual minus heat of formation theoretical. It is 82 minus 178. So it is 82 minus 170. It is how much? Minus 88. Okay. So now I will put the units and we have the answer. Are you getting this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is done.
Can you explain once again?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Let us start right from the beginning. Okay. So let me just. Now you see, I can write, let us say that my Lewis structure is of N2 is this. Okay. So I will be making all the bond energy calculation based on N2. Getting my point? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, I am writing N2 plus half O2 giving N2. And this is the structure of N2. Okay. Now this is the formation reaction for N2O. Right? Elements in the native state combining to give 1 mole of N2O. Okay. Now if I can imagine this process in multiple steps. So I can say that in first step, N2 will be going to 2 nitrogen, 2 moles of nitrogen atom. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, half mole of O2 will be giving 1 mole of oxygen atoms. And in the third step, N2 plus oxygen will be giving N2O. 3 steps. Each step will have delta H. So delta H1 will be breaking of nitrogen triple bond. So it will be bond energy of N triple bond, because you have to give this energy to break those bonds. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Second step is O2 giving oxygen. Okay, half O2 is giving. So in this case, you are breaking O double bond O. So it will be half into bond energy of O double bond O. And third step, nitrogen and oxygen are combining to give N2O. In this case, it will be bond energy of reactant minus bond energy of products. And reactants are atoms, so their bond energy are 0. Products will be having bond energy of N double bond N plus bond energy of N double bond O. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
After that, you can do this. Okay? Yeah, so that is done. Okay. After this, 71 to 75.
72.
Okay, 72 first. Anyone having doubt in 71 also? Yes. No, 74 I get. Is anyone having doubt in 71? Yeah, because I think someone posted it on the group also, not group but to me. Okay, so let us see 71. Okay, now this type of question you have already done. That you have NaCl plus aqueous, giving Na plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. Okay, now NaCl solid. You can imagine this reaction to go in multiple steps. Na plus gaseous plus Cl minus gaseous, and then this is undergoing hydration. This is also undergoing hydration. I think exactly this question only we have discussed now. Okay, and delta H is given to be -2 in this case. So this is delta H1, delta H2, delta H3. It is given that heat of hydration of Na plus is -390. So let us say that this is Y. And I can say that delta H is equal to delta H1 plus delta H2 plus delta H3. And this is given to be -2 is equal to delta H1 is how much? I see in this case, you have to give energy to break the lattice. So it will be plus 772. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay, now you see delta H1 will be 772 because I have told you people lattice energy is basically energy which is magnitude, and that magnitude is released when a lattice is formed, and that magnitude has to be given when the energy is when you have to break the lattice. Here we are breaking the lattice, so it will be plus. It will be 772 plus delta H2 is minus 390 because it is always the energy released, and plus 5. So Y will be equal to minus 772 minus 772 plus 390. So it will be minus 384. So the given answer is correct only. What was the issue with this question? Was there any issue with this question? Okay. So can we move forward? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let me check. And 72, from the following data of delta H for the following reaction, C solid plus half O2 gaseous giving CO gaseous. Okay. Delta H is minus 110 and C solid plus H2O giving CO plus H2. Delta H is minus 132 kilojoules per mole. Calculate a molar composition of mixture of steam and oxygen when being passed through coke. Steam and oxygen on being passed through coke at 1273 Kelvin. Okay. So okay. They are asking the molar composition, no? So you see, suppose this is the coke bed. And you are passing O2 and you are passing H2O and oxygen. What will happen that both will be reacting with this as per the given thing. Okay. And so actually carbon if reacts with half O2, it is giving CO. And so what is the one being passed through the thing? Okay, so molar composition they are asking. For means suppose you are having H2O plus O2 mixture. Okay, so what is the calculate the mole composition of the mixture? Okay, so yeah, that is the thing. Okay, what have they given us the thing? I am not getting. See, you can calculate a mole fraction actually. Okay, what have they done here? 60. Yeah, that I am getting. That I am getting. That is what I am thinking. Yeah, it is like A moles of O2 and B moles of H2 are used. Then they're asking B by A. Okay. So this question is incomplete. Okay, it is going for key change. Incomplete. Do you want me to do the question considering A and B? Okay. Let me just so let me just see what they have taken as A and what they have taken. So they are taking A moles of HO2 and B moles of H2O. So A moles of O2 and B moles of H2O they are taken, and they have asked to calculate B by A, right? Okay. Okay. So they are asking to calculate B by A here. Okay. Then there is some more data which is missing actually. Let me check. It is saying that the energy released must be equal to energy absorbed. Okay, you can do it like that. You see, one is reaction is exothermic and another reaction is endothermic here. Okay, so heat lost in the exothermic reaction should be equal to heat gained in the endothermic reaction. Are you getting my point? For maintaining constant temperature. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, suppose first reaction is endothermic. So we will be talking about magnitude only. Okay. So what is the magnitude here? It is 110 kilojoules. This is heat is released. So I can get 110 into moles of O2. Okay. So 110 into moles of O2 will be how much? See, for half mole, okay, I'm just writing it here. Half mole, you are getting 110. So for 1 mole of O2, you'll be getting what? 220? Getting my point? Yes, no. Okay. So for A moles, you'll be getting how much? 220 into A. That is equal to the heat which is gained during the second reaction. It is 132 kilojoules for 1 mole of H2. So for B, it will be 132. So from this, I can calculate. They have asked B by A actually. So B by A will be 220 by 132. So it will be 10 by 6 or 5 by 3, 1.67. So the question is incomplete because they have not given the ratio. Okay. So this will go for what you say as delete. There is no way you can solve this question. Okay. They have missed some information here, which is okay. So after 72, 73. Okay, I will discuss. 73 is a doubt or not? Yes, no? Okay. No, see, everyone will be having different doubts. Okay, even if it is a single doubt, I will definitely answer. Now, the reaction is C2H4 plus H2 giving C2H6. Okay, so you have to calculate the enthalpy change of the reaction. So just write it in terms of, structures. Okay, plus okay. So enthalpy change for the reaction, delta H will be what? Bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products. It will be 4 into bond energy of CH1 plus bond energy of C11C plus bond energy of HH1 minus 6 into bond energy of CH bonds plus 1 into bond energy of CC1. Getting my point? Now you see some things will cancel out. This will be 2. Okay. Anything else? No. Bond energy of C double bond C 606.68 minus plus bond energy of HH 431.79 minus 2 into bond energy of CH 410.87 plus bond energy of CC1 single 336.81. So if we calculate it, 606.68 plus 431.79. Okay, it is like 1038.47 minus 2 into 410.87 plus 336.81. That is 1158.55. So it will be minus 1038. So it will be minus 120.08. Okay? Kilojoule per mole. Okay, this is a simple question. I don't think it should be a problem for you people. But anyways, since it was asked, it is done. 74 is a doubt. Acha, 75 is a doubt or no? Yeah. One minute.
Actually, we'll get 25.663, sir. If we round up 25.66 only, how could we get 25.67?
No, in that case, they will go for what you say as range. Don't worry about this. You want me to solve this question or you have gotten this question? Oh, so then they will give the range. I will recommend for a range. Okay. I will recommend for a range 25.65 to 25.68. Anything can lie between these. Means, yeah, that is correct. But say, you have like 2658 kilojoules. Okay, then you are multiplying also by 11.2. Okay, divided by whatever is the butane. So there might be some calculation, approximation here. So answer will fluctuate a bit. Are you getting my point? Huh. 26 is difficult. You are getting 26. That
Part of the day also should be considered. So but number of days normally we will take as integral.
yeah, that is a good point. So it's hello. In that case, the answer should be 25 only, no? Where 26 days, so it will be, like if you. No, it's not about. See, understand my logic, okay? Just for some time, just forget that you gave a test or something like that. Just talk from solving this question point of view. Suppose the correct exact answer is 25.66. Okay, let us take your exact value. This means 25 days it lasted completely. On the 26th day, you are not able to cook your food completely.
So but it is about 25 about 0.5 it will take integer in this case.
Means if now. No, you can't round it off to 20. Huh? See, I can do only two things in this case. Okay, either I can suggest a range or I can suggest that the number of days should be an integer thing. Okay, so if you are taking it to be number of integers, then I will suggest 26. Okay, they ask how long. Yeah. If they are asking how long, then it can be anything. No, you might have thought of hours also or something like that. So they have to, how long in days they have to mention if they want to ask it as 25.67. Okay. See, yeah, the thing is they can take anything, even if you. Yeah, so then I will recommend it for deletion altogether. See, they won't agree for this big range. If they're considering range, then they will consider 25.65 to 25.67. Yeah, in proper IITJEE question, they will mention the units also. Okay, don't worry about that. And here it is overlooked, but it's okay. Okay, don't worry. Yes. No, I am not disagreeing with you people. What I am saying is that if they should say how long in terms of days. Okay, I don't think that they will go for deletion in there, but they can consider a range between 25.65 to 25.67. Okay, that I am going to suggest. Because, based on the question, it is clear that, obvious that they are asking it in days only. So best thing here is to go for range. Okay. So let me go forward. 875, is it out? Yes. 75, is it out? Let me check. Now you see, here they have said that the enthalpy of hydration is 20x.
Previous answer is minus 120, sir, which is equals to 28. So x will be minus 6.
Yeah, x will be minus 6. You want me to solve this question or have you got this correctly?
But given answer is 6. But with minus.
1 minute. So minus 20x is equal to, okay. They have missed a minus here actually.
But answer is 6, minus 6 only, no, sir.
Yeah, answer should be minus 6. Answer should be minus 6. Based on given answer, it should be minus 6. Yeah. Okay. This I will suggest for, key change. Okay. So, yeah. Which one? Yes. Any other doubt? Yes or no? No or yes? Scientific. Scientific, I will suggest options, like modification of the option. It should be minus 6. 74. 74, I will suggest a range 25.65 to 25.67. It is too obvious that they are asking about days. Okay. No, 26 they won't agree actually. I don't think. Okay, we'll see. Let me, discuss it with some other faculties also. I will get into it. Okay. See, what I am interested in is whether you people found this paper to be solvable or not. Yes or no? Any question which was like based on something which you didn't know? Yes or no? All the concepts were related and familiar to you people, right? So, so then it hardly matters. You see, from my point of view, okay, just let me just do this, stop this.